Hello there, guys. So let me just announce that we've gone live on the Telegram channel. Beautiful. Right. So, you're right, Jennifer. How am I doing? I hope you've had a lovely weekend. Sunday, just getting in this pre-market analysis so that we know what to kind of look for and expect going into this week. So I'm going to go over kind of what happened last week, also what's kind of happened this weekend, just to give us a better picture as to what we should be expecting this week. I'm going to go over through some fundamentals on the economic calendar. Again, we've got a week with a few data points coming out. So again, we should see a bit of volatility. Yeah, so let's just dive straight into it. So I'm going to go over kind of what happened last week. So let's just start from the top to the bottom, I guess, right? So obviously we're on the weekly, nothing's changed much from last week. So obviously this current green candle is this week. Obviously it's Sunday, so at midnight we shall start a new weekly candle. Obviously, as you can see here clearly, we're kind of at some support where it was past resistance here. Finding a little bit of support, but it is quite clear it's not enough support. So we've got just under 4 hours left to this current week or this current candle here. And where is the volume? We're not seeing any volume on this green candle to show us that this is enough support to take things higher. So that being said, we are very much looking like we're going to fall down to at least 32,000. Obviously, if you kind of have been trading week in, week out, you'll be able to spot kind of the change in market sentiment. So normally, if you can kind of just remember a little bit, when we were kind of prices were kind of in general moving up week on week during the weekdays. What happened normally on a Thursday, Friday, going into the weekend, over the weekend, you saw price pull back and correct, right? What did we get this weekend? We got price increase. Okay, so that should be telling us something. It should be telling us on the low volume days we're now seeing price increase, and normally what happens after a low volume move, okay, we get a strong volume in the other direction, right? So let's move down to the daily. So this is basically what we got this week. Very low volume sort of retrace. Again, we are at a level here. This is a zone. Realistically, I don't really see us moving up too high. Obviously, Mondays don't bring a whole load of volume either, so we could see a little bit of an increase. But we have not seen any volume whatsoever come into the market as we're moving up here. So we could see a move down, or just a little bit more consolidation and then fall down. Obviously, we got this cross. Death cross has finally crossed. Obviously, we don't get instant reactions from these crosses. They take a little bit of time to materialize. But the point that just kind of needs to be taken is that the 2 moving averages have crossed. The 50 moving average is now below the 200 moving average, which is indicating a change of sentiment. You're right, Bunner Gaming. So we need to kind of keep that in mind. Obviously, spot the change in weekly sentiment. We are now getting increases in prices going into the weekend rather than a retractment in price. Okay, so need to kind of keep that in the brain as we kind of go into this week. Again, so I know I've already touched this up twice, but very little increase in volume as we are finding some support, and this is quite a key level of support on the chart. So realistically, we should be seeing a strong bounce, which we are not getting whatsoever. So if you can see over here, for instance, right, we're getting a bounce up in volume, right? So volume's actually increasing, whereas here volume's decreasing. Okay, so let's say, for instance, here this move here, which is very, very similar to this move over here, right? Okay, look at what's happening. We're getting a decrease in volume, right? Exactly how we're getting it over here, right? So realistically, we could see a little bit of a spike here just to level it out here, capture some more liquidity, and then just tumble this whole price moving all the way down to around this level over here where we've got some more strong support, right? So going into Monday, we could see this little bit of a spike up in a green candle, not necessarily too much in volume. Sometimes we can get a little bit of increased volume as there is kind of mixed emotions on this move at the moment. We kind of have traders thinking that this is the bottom and then we're going to go up, and then we've got other traders that are seeing this death cross and seeing the weakening in volume as we're kind of trying to find the support. So the institutions are going to kind of play to that sort of mixed emotion in the market, and they're just going to kind of squeeze on both sides till they can capture some extra liquidity and then take things lower again. So that's on the daily. Okay, we move down again to the 4 hour, right? I'm going to start putting all of this back on now, right? So just wanted to kind of touch on what happened. Over last week. Okay, we were in long positions, right, on this move up here. So the TA is already there, so I'll actually take the TA out and actually explain what's happened on this move here. And it happens a lot of times, right? And because price actually moves so quickly, you get caught in profit if you're in long in this sort of move. Okay, for this instance, okay. And then what happens, they flip price so quickly that then you lose majority of that profit, and what happens is that you're then more likely to stay thinking that, okay, I need to make, well, not necessarily need to make this profit back, but I was at this profit point and now I've lost it all in such a short space of time. Okay, they actually move price much slower during the move up and move it so quickly. So you get that sort of anticlimax. So you're making profit more, over a longer space of time, and then you lose it a lot quicker than you have made it, right? So now your kind of emotions are in the sense of, I've been in this trade for so long. It's taken 5 days to materialize, and it's taken 2 hours to basically go back down by 50%. That's how to do it. But let's go to the 1 hour so I can better explain this move over here. I'll shift this over here. Right. So a lot of volume. So we kind of got this range that we spoke about, kind of accumulating orders, all right, and actually sort of squeezing traders out on either side, all right. So prices kind of pushed down, made that extra push lower, gaining liquidity in the market, moving prices all the way back up, okay, and actually this whole red candle down here is where we actually got caught earlier on in the week, right? It's just a simple price manipulation move that catches out traders to gain liquidity very quickly and then switch things back up. Prices pushed up, okay, liquidated some more, down, liquidated again, and then we actually broke from the top of that range. Prices pulled back to a fib, okay, and then continue pushing up. But this is where the kind of interesting move occurs. So we've got this push back up, increase in volume, first peak, right? So beautiful, we've got our first peak here. Prices pushed back to fib, okay, tested this past resistance here where price actually rejected very heavily, okay, as new support. So what do you think you would do in this sort of instance? You're going to go in long, clearly, right? Okay, test the past resistance into new support, strong fucking rejectment, pushes all the way back up, actually breaks the previous top, right? So breaks the previous top. One, liquidating any shorters that are in here, placing shorts, expecting price to actually turn as it's at an order block just here, okay, and capturing or basically enticing longs to get in as this breaks over here. So one, get in longs, basically with their entry points above that previous high, and then also liquidating or cutting out the shorters with their stop losses up here and liquidation prices up there. Price then pushes back down. Price then pushes back down, back again to this level over here. Okay, so that's the second test. I'm going to go in long again, put my stop loss just beneath here. It's good odds, right? Pushes back up, then comes back down. Okay, another test. Okay, I'm going to add to my order. Then price pushes, so this is the second top. Price pushes all the way past 1, 2 previous highs, okay, doing the exact same thing that they've done over here, but even more so, okay. And then look how quickly they push price all the way back down. So just previously to that, right, you would have even started to think, I'm going to be placing that. That's the structure that's playing to, okay. So now you've got a number of the elements that are basically telling you this is going to go higher, as that is a bullish setup, right? Until you actually see this third peak. This second peak should start raising questions, but the third one is time to get out. Right, bear with me. I've just seen it's 480p quality. Bear with me. Let me try and see if I can sort this out. we are trying to kind of resolve this the Wi-Fi issue that we have here. Again, the Wi-Fi just in this sort of region of the UK isn't great, so it should get better as we kind of go along. We're in the West Midlands. If you can't tell, I mean, it's not exactly a Brummie accent, but we're in and around Birmingham. Is everyone in this chat from the UK, or where are you from, by the way? It's lovely to see this price kind of coming down as well. But yeah, okay. The connection should get better. Yeah. Russia, beautiful. I need to come visit Russia at some point. Definitely on the list to go and visit. Denmark, beautiful. Yeah, I was actually looking at going to university back a few years ago in Denmark. London, yes, London. I was in London on New Year's Day. Beautiful city. We'll be moving to London very soon. And Moscow, party city. That's what I love to hear. Right, guys, beautiful. Lovely to know where you are all from. That's amazing. Got a bit of diversity, and that's what we like. Okay, so again, just a bit of apologies on the kind of quality, but we will resolve that as we kind of move forward in time. Okay, but okay, going back to the actual structure, just a complete price manipulation sort of structure, and print screen it, save it. This structure happens a lot of times in crypto, especially with Bitcoin. And as soon as you spot it, all right, on that third peak, that is your last opportunity to get out of your long positions and just to enter some short positions, depending on the sort of trader you are. But ultimately, you are out of that trade in terms of your long positions, and you're not then losing on the way down, because it blows down very, very quickly, right? So just want to be out of it and have nothing to do with it unless you're in the short. So just make sure you're kind of taking a visual representation of that setup here. Okay, this happens many, many times. It happens even not the last sell-off, but the one previous. I think it was maybe at the start of last year or something. It was a huge shakeout. And this was the exact same setup that happened. Okay. But anyway, right, moving on. Price came all the way down and tested this order block here that we actually stated. Okay. Price is pushing back up. Now, can we all just appreciate how very little volume we are getting on any of these moves up, right? We're actually losing volume. Bit of a head and shoulders forming here, okay? It's not very precise, but it's something that you can kind of keep an eye on, right? And can we all also appreciate that we're getting a spike up in volume on this right hand side shoulder, okay? So volume weakening on moves up, okay? You've got a very good test of this level over here, and then actually it's your third kind of test, and we're falling down in price. I'm going to go back to the 4 hour. Okay. So some people are saying 45k, right? All right, so 45k is here. Realistically, 45k, right? We're now going to push out above the 100 moving average on the 4 hour, which the 4 hour chart, the 240, if you all kind of know, it's quite a significant time frame to trade on. If changes happen on, or significant changes or price levels kind of change on the 4 hour, you are then very much seeing kind of changes in sort of medium term time frames, right? Or longer time frames. So a 45 test, right? Which if we go on the daily, right, it is a level. So 45, we've been saying, was it 45 and 46, or was it 45, 5 and 46? Okay, 45 is definitely a level here. So we got this test over here, but we've got no sort of support. So only the support that we see, I think, is on, where is it? Yeah, 45 hasn't even got any support to it really. So you kind of more likely, or you kind of want to see if price does come all the way up, right? You want to see a 45.5 or 46, or even between 45.5 and 46.5. That's where you kind of want to see price go up to and test as resistance, right? But again, if that's the case, then we're back to looking bullish, not bearish, right? I still think long term, all right, in terms of this whole year, that we will be very much bullish. However, as things stand for this quarter, okay, or at least this month, next 6 weeks, right, we are going. I think 32 and 30k is very, very reasonable. We're not seeing a huge introduction of volume. Therefore, liquidity does need to get picked up from somewhere, and we've got levels. So we've got this level just here, which will be our first sort of test, right? 38, and then after that's 32 and below. As you can see over here, it is a level, quite a strong level. We had volume, quite large bits of volume kind of come in at these levels here. So we can expect that there is huge amounts of volume at this price level over here, right? There's a lot of liquidity. So if we go on to here, again, see, we've got the VPVR, huge volumes. Again, showing us that we've got a lot of liquidity here. As you can see, also, we've got liquidity all the way from 38 and below. Again, so obviously we have got liquidity at this level, but we're not seeing a spike up in volume. So it's got to pick up at some price level. All right, so if we take that out now, so even from current price action, we are falling down. Again, we could just really be kind of moving in a range, maybe for the next day or so. But we shall kind of keep an eye on that, kind of have a little look at it as kind of price goes on into the week. Total crypto market cap. Let's get this back on. We'll start off with taking everything off. Obviously, we've got a test of the 15 moving average, but again, volume is completely not showing up. And now we're getting kind of prices stick to this 100 moving average. When did this happen? We got to stick to the 50 moving average back there, okay? we are at resistance on total crypto market cap now. Look, just here. Obviously, we've got a bit more just up here as well. And as you can see, we've already placed the TA or the necessary TA on there with the order blocks and everything else, right? So 100 moving average is now being tested. Prices are falling down on the 4 hour. Okay. We are going to come test this 50 moving average again. We'll see how price reacts to that. We might get a little bit more of a bounce, get another little test of resistance, and then that's when it drops to the floor. We are obviously going to be waiting on data points and everything else that will kind of move the dollar index. So we've got, I think, China. We've got China data points coming out. We've got the European Union monetary policy meeting, wherever it is. Where is it? Here we go. ECB monetary policy meeting accounts. That is a very important meeting. Okay. When is that coming in? That's coming on the 20th. And the 20th is Thursday. So towards the end of the week, we should be seeing some volatility as well, right? But earlier on in the week, so we've got, again, Euro group meeting. But over on the Asia side of the world, we have got GDP growth rate. Obviously, we have, well, China's supposed to be the biggest economy, or set to be the biggest economy in the world. If I'm right, by 2023 or something like that, in the next few years, which is quite crazy. But we're actually seeing a little bit of retraction as of now. Obviously, we had Evergrande's issue, which is obviously the housing market, which isn't great. What else we got? So retail sales year on year, fixed asset investment. So these are all kind of important sort of news points in terms of trading. Going into Tuesday, I mean, yeah, new car registrations, depends what markets you're in. But in terms of the United Kingdom, this is very, very important. Obviously, we had the Fed's speech. They're very much linking sort of unemployment rates or employment rates to inflation, and how they're going to tackle in terms of rate hikes and their monetary policy as kind of time moves on this year. And the UK is going to be taking a very similar stance to that. So very much important sort of news points to come out on Tuesday in terms of the UK. But those are the main 2 days, as well as Thursday. Thursday, obviously, we have the ECB monetary policy, which is important, and is probably the most important, actually. Inflation rate. This is, again, very much important. Germany inflation rate, the UK inflation rate. So, Germany is the biggest economy in the EU. So that is a major sort of data point that we kind of need to keep an eye on in terms of the European Union. Obviously, the UK is out of the European Union, so there's kind of sole entity, if you may. So again, inflation points. So we need to keep an eye on that. We've got month on month as well. Yeah, and then we've even got more. It's all inflation data this month. Sorry, this week. And we definitely need to keep an eye out for that. We got Christine Lagarde's speech as well on Friday. So this is quite a heavy week, or another heavy week of data to come out. Obviously, we will send out sort of the links to kind of those data points and kind of the speeches into the news channel. So if you're not following it, make sure to follow it. It is free. It's open to anyone, so it's very useful. But yeah, guys, that is kind of what we're looking for. So there's going to be a lot of volatility this week. That is going to be impacted, obviously, the dollar, yen, and just a kind of overall market in general. If we go back to the TA then, so we just wanted to touch on obviously the economic data that's coming out this week, but there is a lot of data points to kind of look for, so we must kind of be on point this week, because anything can kind of happen on those sort of trading session opens, switchovers and closes. So ideally waking up before the London Open would be advised. Just kind of get you set and prepared for that open. Obviously, those institutions will be pricing in beforehand. So total crypto market cap, let's go back. Prices tested, now pulling back again. No spike up in volume whatsoever. Obviously, it is the weekend. We can't really be expecting huge volumes to kind of enter the market anyway. But it's just the point of this is happening during the weekend instead of during the week. So it is definitely a switch over in market sentiment, okay? In terms of support, obviously we kind of have this key level over here. This we can take out now, and so can this. This is kind of your next support zone at 1.96 trillion. And then below that, we have the key level where price kind of tested as support and resistance back here. Just wanted to also kind of put this in here. And then obviously we kind of have our huge range that kind of pulls back from all the way over here. In fact, let's not. Those are your support zones. We are likely to find support somewhere around this region here. If not, then price could actually come down all the way, same as Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin's still holding a lot of the market share, or a lot of market share, shall I say. So basically 40% of the market share. So if Bitcoin drops to 32k to 30k, you can expect this to fall down. Obviously, the altcoins will follow suit. So could very much see it fall down to any of these levels over here. Place this trend line over here. Obviously, it was past resistance just here. We'll place almost an order block where that was the order block just there. Just to kind of give us a zone to work within rather than just a single price point on the chart. So that is total crypto market cap. It isn't like we're not getting bullish sentiment as of right now. Obviously, we got this test over here, this level of previous support turning into new resistance now, and we are sticking to it. So we would need to see a break somewhere up to this sort of region over here to give us a better indication as to kind of stand by those balls, and thinking that price will be coming up to these levels over here. So Bitcoin dominance, okay, continues to fall again. We did say about staying in a bit of a range. We are now back to that low, right? So testing and kind of holding again. We could see a little spike below. but again, looking like we're going to continue to come down potentially. Can take that out. So we now basically created a new lower low on the weekly, or in terms of just this section over here. Very little volume. So we are now at lows, little volume, so we should be seeing spikes up as we are hitting supports. So getting more of the indication that prices do want to be coming down. Dollar index, obviously very important. We are seeing a switch over. Prices are pushing up from the 100 moving average, finding good support. Okay, so prices should continue to come up. I'm just going to, right, those are kind of key levels, right? Let's place this as your next resistance zone, right? And then obviously we've got this trend line here where price is kind of stuck to, but this is a good area to kind of look at in this this order block here between $96 and $95.8 as your kind of next resistance zone. You could even, you could even pull a fib. So we could even see a sort of test around or between the 618 and the 0.5. Once that kind of comes in play and we see a turnaround, we should see crypto kind of stabilize a little bit if we're seeing a fast-paced move as the dollar index it kind of increases into these fib levels, as well as that order block at the 786. Once it kind of stabilizes, the DXY kind of pulls back, so hopefully kind of finds support at a Fibonacci level and then continues to push up. Okay, that's when we kind of see a bit more of a faster pace move in crypto. Once obviously the DXY has kind of confirmed its kind of movement within the next like few days. So it's one to kind of really do keep an eye on, because it will impact on crypto and how fast paced it does move. One thing we also just wanted to touch on just before we kind of wrap this all up, Bitcoin longs, right? BTC longs, not looking great, right? We are falling. We're at support. We're at actually a nice level. This doesn't look like it's going up whatsoever. This looks like it's coming down to here, or even here. Okay. So longs have been coming out of the market for quite some time. A lot of longs have been coming out for quite some time. So this is dating back all the way to July, right? This is very little accumulation. Okay. Again, adding to that sort of argument that we are going down lower instead of going up, right? So we'll kind of see it on the other hand, right? So we go to shorts, and now what we're seeing on shorts, we're seeing a sort of stabilization in shorts now. We've now been at this level for quite some time. We actually got a huge spike up right here, okay? And now what are we getting? We're getting an increase, and we're going to get a break. Okay, we've got this spike up here already, so this is institutional. Okay, so we got a nice quick spike up, quick spike down, and now what we're seeing is again a movement up. Right, we could be seeing a movement all the way up to about 10,000. It's up 3% currently, so something is going to be priced in, started to be priced in. So we're getting an increase in shorts whilst Bitcoin is moving up, but we're getting a very small increase taken from current percentage on Bitcoin longs at the moment. So shorters are outpacing the longs on price moving up. So price of Bitcoin is actually moving up, right? Yeah, that's the way you should be looking at it. We could, again, so just wanted to touch on one point. You might have missed it. We could see it's just a very quick spike, test this level, just gain a little bit more liquidity to then make that move back down. So just be careful of that, okay? But the reality of actually just blowing up all the way up here isn't as likely as moving down. However, obviously it is crypto. Anything can really happen. Anything can happen very quickly. But all the indicators that we've gone through and all the reasoning that we've gone through kind of in this stream, you can kind of see that it's leaning a lot more towards the sell side than the long side for at least next month or so, right? But yeah, guys. All right. So if you guys got any questions, I'll kind of stay on this live stream for another couple of minutes. If you don't, then thank you for watching. Let's have a successful trading week. But yeah, thank you. I'll give it a couple of minutes if you guys got any questions on anything, just to clear up, and then I'll cut this off. Beautiful coin. Let's go. Let's smash off this week, mate. Let's do it. We are at the ready for anything that the market trades or sends our way, shall I say. Right. Got another minute. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys. Much love. And yeah, let's smash this week. We shall see you. Either tomorrow for some TradingView posts, which we will be sending out in the morning. If not, then we'll see you for another live stream on Tuesday evening, just to kind of give an update as we've entered the trading week into the second day of the trading week. But anyway, guys, take care. Yeah, much love.